Hey everyone, me want to do a slight tweak here. Hey everyone, welcome to Malts and Meeples for another game of Aeon's End Legacy. I am Petter. We're going to be in Chapter 7 today, and Chapter 7 has the last packet in the box. It's also called The Last Stand. I'll give you a little spoiler here. We'll be back playing one more week at least, because, well, it turns out there's an 8th chapter. It's just a little bit of a secret. So, don't tell anybody. But before I get to that, we got our beer of the day. If you watched the top 10 from on Monday, this is the same beer. Honestly, I just wanted to drink this beer today because it's really good, and I just wanted something nice and easy to drink. Like, I like my big beers. I like my strong stouts or my really bitter IPAs. But some days you just want a crushable beer. And this is a crushable beer. All right. We are on to Chapter 7. Maelstrom has come back, and you stand before it, ready for the fight. The creature is so massive, and its minions are so numerous, you are separated from the other mages. The sky above New Gravehold is darkened with Maelstrom's presence. Its beacons dot the ground below it, trying to open more breaches to summon even more minions. They cannot be allowed to succeed. You feel a sense of calm as the battle approaches. You can defeat Maelstrom. You can close the breach. New Gravehold must survive. You feel part of something bigger, as if every moment of your life was leading up to this one. The battle begins in slow motion as Maelstrom begins spinning, its large blades slicing towards the ground. Within moments, more breaches open and swarms of minions claw their way out. The future lies in your hand. The final battle has begun. Open Chapter 7 playmat. The Last Stand. We have our divider set up. Whoa. Have some fun stuff in here. So let's pull this out. So we drop a Nemesis card and put in a Maelstrom Assault Turn card. We have some beacons. As well as then cards to shuffle in. One. Almost forgot to do the start a game setup here for Zollifer. And I'll take us down to the table in a second here. There are no extra cards in this one. Nothing that we're going to be adding to our deck. One, two, three. We've replaced. Shuffle up these beacons. Flip out two. Immediate effects do nothing. There are no immediate effects. So let's hop down to the table and look at what we have going on here. Maelstrom Risen, I had set for 99 health because that's what Maelstrom had, but this one has 65 health. This is fairly low. I'm sure that's because we're going to have some fun additional rules. Unleash, draw a card from the beacon deck and put into play. Maelstrom Risen's Assault turn order card. When it's drawn, Gravehold suffers 1 damage for each beacon in play. Then Maelstrom Risen takes a turn as normal. So it's considered it's a Nemesis turn order card. If a beacon card is discarded, place it at the bottom of the deck. Or place it into a beacon discard pile, excuse me. If the beacon deck runs out, reshuffle. If there are 10 beacons in play, Maelstrom wins. Alright. That's where we're at. Let's get started. Can we do 65 damage in one turn? Seems improbable. Actually seems impossible. We still have Evolve. Aeon, perfect. 3 purchase with 1 that cannot be used by a spell. We'll start by grabbing a Conductive Grit and drop in our spells. Draw back up. Slide the turn order cards up slightly. Nemesis, so just regular Nemesis. These guys don't have any abilities. Slice, power 3. So in 3 turns, this goes off no matter what. The player with the most expensive card in hand degrades that card and suffers 3 damage. Yeesh. Not ideal. Oof. So Gravehold suffers 2 damage. These guys do nothing. They're just there to make sure Gravehold suffers damage. Immediately, any player discards a card from hand. Zolifer will do that. Aeon. So, I could take out this one, or this one. I haven't placed the shield token down, so I'm going to take the first shot, takes out that. This deals 2 damage to a minion and gives me 1 extra purchase power, which is nice. I have 4 purchase power. We're just going with the Incinerating Fist. Alright. Well, we know who's coming up here. Zolifer. Zolifer, who has 5 purchase power. Special ability allows that to go on top. Hey, who's it going to be? Zolifer. And now, we already start here with a lot of purchase power. 6 total purchase power. And we're going to get an Infernal Mirror just immediately here. Gain a charge. Any ally gains a charge. Nope. 1, 2. Get some Pulse going because I think we had some fun with Pulse. Once per turn during your main phase, you may lose 2 Pulse tokens. If you do, return a card from pile to hand. Alright, 2 damage. Boom. Boom. Taking out another beacon. So that's going to gain me a Pulse. And I have 4 purchase that I could use on a spell, or 5 overall purchase. I'm going to use the 5 overall purchase to gain the Crumbling Compound. Just because I think that purchase power is going to be useful. I don't know that she needs much more purchase power than that. But if we can start getting some of those bigger spells and getting those reaches open fast, that's where we're going to really see our improvement. Aeon. Just realized I forgot to give the character's health. Not a big deal when you haven't taken any damage to this point. It's just easier to store it there. So, the question is 1 damage. I'm gonna do it to the minion. As much as I hate to, because she's not going to be able to get this shot off in time. 3 purchase power gets us a Sparkling Siphon. Because she just went twice in a row. Gravehold takes 1 damage. Use that. Power 2. Unleash. Any player suffers 1 damage and discards 2 gems. If both of them cost 0, evolve. Zolifer. I'm actually going to hit the Nemesis for 1. Since Zolifer's not going to be able to kill the Nemesis. I have a hand that is just money. And I'm actually going to keep 1 money in the hand and go 5. Get a Crumbling Compound on top there. Oh, and I forgot. Zolifer is now our tank with a lot of life. Here we go. Zolifer again. So Crumbling Compound. I'll discard for that. So that's 4. And I have 2 cracked crystals, which I'm going to use over here. I have an ally gains a charge. Anybody gains 2 pulse tokens. and then could cast a spell for 2 pulse tokens actually, and it will gain an extra damage. I'm going to do it because... No, I'm not going to do it. It's not worth it quite. So I use those. That, I have 4 purchase power. Okay. Like, am I going crazy? I thought... Yeah, Aeon should have an additional 2 here. So she is set up for what I think is going to be a fun turn next time she has one. I'm going to get a Sparkling Siphon, gain 2 pulse. Put those cards down. And we know it's going to be Nemesis. So, the player with the most expensive card in hand. So we have a 5 or a 5 degrades it. So that goes away. And suffers 3 damage. So we need to get Zolifer up and running here in a second. That is gone. We lose 1 here. What do we have? Attack. Any player suffers 2 damage and discards a card in hand. If that card costs 0, evolve. What? We're going to discard 1. Zolifer is going to take the 2 for sure. Alright. There we go. Time to shuffle up again. I feel like this is going decently well, but that's kind of famous last words, so... Boom, boom. 2 to this guy. Take him out. Boom. 3 here. Down to 61. Drop in those 2 spells. So I have 2 prep spells. That means this is a 3. Plus I have 1 here, which I'm going to discard actually. Deal an additional damage. And then I'm going to spend 2 to gain back Conductive Grit to my hand. To then gain another pulse as I play that down. I have 5 purchased now. I can get an Arcane Salvo. I'm going to spend 2 to take Arcane Salvo back and put it into play. And call that good. That's going to be fun. It's not a... Oh, no, I can't do that. I need my 2 back. I can only do it once per turn. Zolifer, of course, has no spells, as he normally does. Discard 6 purchase power. I'm going to do 3 or 4 of it to get that, and then, you know, I'm working my way up on those charges. Maelstrom, there's nothing. We lose this. Unleash. Any player suffers 1 damage. Zolifer. And discards 2 gems. 2 gems. Both of them do cost 0. This evolves, so this goes away. And E52. Aether Extract Story. The Nameless yearns to feed on your gems, the source of power you use to control your breaches. Your offering does not satisfy the Nameless, and it will continue to hunt you, devouring your spells. So, thankfully, this just goes in here, and do I have a pen over here? I see some at the end of the table. Has a spot for a name. I actually did a really good job, I feel like, of not evolving too many things too fast. I think that's where the game could really get out of control, is via evolving cards. All right. Oh, and we still have to flip the Nemesis card. To discard, Aeon discards a card in hand that costs 3 or more during their turn. 3 turns to unleash. The nice thing is I can literally pull that in with the pulse tokens I have. So Zolifer, fire off, 1 damage, down to 59. And 2, I kept the 2 simply to do that. Aeon, pop, pop. 2 spells pop off. Spend 3 just to open that breach. I'm going to spend 2 pulse. I'm going to pull back the Arcane Salvo. Drop that into play. 3 purchase I used. Whipping Wires, persistent. If this is the assault turn, any player suffers 2 damage, otherwise unleash. Okay. You suck, let's kill you fast. Aeon. Boom. 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 7 damage. Straight out of there. Fist there. So I'm actually going to gain a charge, deal 1 damage, gain a charge. I'm going to spend the 2 pulse because I really wanted to have that Arcane Salvo drop in there. I want that damage on Maelstrom Risen fast. Nemesis goes. So that was a risk I took. I could have taken the Arcane Salvo and just discarded it, which might have been the better call. Oh, yeah. Freaking Spine Terror. 4 shields. That's what matters. Maelstrom Assault. That's what I was worried about. Unleash. So first, Maelstrom thing happens. We don't have any. Unleash. Player with the lowest life suffers a damage. Any player suffers 3 damage. Zolifer. And collectively, they discard 3 cards from hand. 1, 2, 3. I think. Yep. That goes away. Unleash. Any player suffers a damage. And any player suffers a damage. And then we still have yet to flip the card. Spend 6, unleash twice, and then any player suffers damage equal to the number of beacons in play. We want to get rid of that for sure. Zolifer. Alright. Just gonna spend a pulse token. So that's 2 damage. Take out that beacon. And any player gains 1 health. So Aeon. Actually going to discard that for this. So we have 4 purchase, and Aeon has gained that, 2 pulse, and then can cast a prep spell, and the prep spell deals 1 more damage than it would normally. So we will cast. Oh, you may lose 2 pulse. Not doing that. So I'm going to spend 2, and then Aeon gains 3 life, all the way back up to 5. And Gravehold gains 2 life. And then I'm going to get another charge. Aeon. Alright, so the question is, like, this is annoying because that always hands out a beacon. I guess that's gone. So I think I just need to use. I'm going to use 1. I'm going to use both of these to take out shields. This guy doesn't bother me too much. That's an easy kill. So 3, 4, 5, pulse token, spend 2, get Arcane Salvo back, we'll spend the 5 to open this. Okay, this is a fun combo, not gonna lie. Of course, it all depends on her having stuff in her discard pile. Zolifer, of course, has no spells. We do have a nice spell to drop here. And so 7 purchase power, 2 of which have to be used over here on a gem. I'm going to get a crumbling compound, which I can put on top of the deck because of this. And that leaves me 2. Start building that back up again. So let's shuffle up and see what we got here. Come on. Alright, Aeon. Spark, Spark. Take out those last 2. Not gonna waste that there. Get them down to 52. And the reason I don't want to waste that, I mean, besides the obvious, it kind of sucks, but I can discard this to just ping him for 1. Then I have 2 crystals. Not enough to focus that, so we're going to gain a charge. Don't have enough pulse to pull back something really good. That's Aeon's turn. Aeon. So now I'll deal the 1 damage here, and then 2 damage. Not going to spend that pulse token. That pulse token is important for Aeon to keep around. Drop 2 spells into play. I have 3, which I'm going to buy a Sparking Siphon, which gets me 2 pulse. I'm going to get rid of those 2 pulse, because I know towards the bottom here I have an Arcane Salvo. Ideally, that Arcane Salvo never leaves either my hand or discard pile. That's my goal. Nemesis, just regular Nemesis. Skybound Leviathan. 9 health, huh? That sucks. Zolifer. Let's start working on that Leviathan. So 4, because I discarded a fractured crystal. 6 total, which allows us to just trash that, because that would have sucked. Zolifer. Before we do that, because this will hit the graveyard, and we're just gonna continue picking away at this guy, because I mean that's 5 damage right there, so hopefully she'll take him out. Sparking Siphon. Alright, Infernal Mirror. Charge. 2 pulse tokens. Don't have enough to lose. And this kind of sucks. I can use this to buy a Conductive Grit, or I'm actually going to keep 1 in hand, hoping for a Crumbling Compound, and just give myself another. So this is going to be Maelstrom Assault. Don't have any beacons out, so no damage, but then Gravehold suffers 2 damage. And Zolifer is going to discard, or no, Zolifer might not discard this card. In fact, he will not. There's an odd reason for this, but on his turn you'll be able to see why Zolifer was not the one to discard the card. Of course, we get a Nemesis turn. 2 damage. I think I forgot to flip last time. Well, we'll call it for this time, since I don't remember for sure. Unleash twice. And Gravehold suffers damage, 1 damage for each player with the turn order card in the discard pile. There are none. No damage to Gravehold. But discard a card. You need to discard 2 cards between the players and suffer a damage. So we're down to discarding 2 cards. One. We're going to have to break up what I was hoping to do. 2. Oh, thank goodness. Sorry, Anne. So, what do we have here? 2 damage. Gain a money. 4 damage. 1 short. And then 3 damage over here down to 47. And that gains a pulse. So we have 6 purchase power. Interesting. So I have an interesting... Ooh, never mind. No, this is a really nice option. So 6 purchase power. Going to get 2. Drop all of these off. All I'm going to do is cast the spark. Or pretend I did. So that's 2 damage here. Kills it. And 3 damage to a minion. Kills it. And that was just with 2 of my purchase power. Of my 6. So I have 4 left. I could have pretended to cast that, but that's overkill. So... Zolifer. 2 damage. Spend that. Heal 1. 45. Down 20. Not bad. And I discard both of these. Purchase power of 8. So, any player gains 3 life. Zolifer will. And Gravehold gains 2 life. And then get 1 of those tokens back with my purchase. And Zolifer, of course, has no spells prepped. Discard that for the Crumbling Compound. We have 6 purchase power. 6 purchase power. I need more spells. And with Zolifer, I don't care if the spells are cast immediately. Him having breaches open is not that important a thing. Aeon. So, yay. Get unload all 5 damage. Spend 2. You know the drill. And 2 purchase pulls that back. Well, we know what we're getting here. Maelstrom Assault turn. No beacons. Spend 7 to get rid of that. That we're going to want to try and do. Zolifer, do something good here, kid. We'll get Aeon's deck here in a second. Or hand, I should say. Wrong token. So, hey, Aeon. So 2, 4, 8, 9, down to 31. I don't have pulse tokens to bring that back, unfortunately. Nor do I have much in the terms of purchase power or spells. I'm stuck with a bad crystal that I can't use to get a spell. But that's okay. I'm going to discard that for an additional damage. And I have 3 purchase power, which is going to get me a Sparking Siphon, which gains me 2 pulses. I'm not going to put those in my hand, because I'm immediately going to bring that guy back. For what has accidentally turned into one of the best combos I can think of. Nemesis turn. This is now getting scary. That's gonna suck. Another one. This one requires 5. Unleash. Set this card next to the Nemesis mat for the rest of the game. Both the Nemesis turn order card. Both Nemesis turn order cards are assault cards. Fun. Now, granted, I've kept those beacons under control, mainly because Aeon has so many of those little ping spells, but Zolifer, 7 money, please. Not even close. 3 damage, down to 27. I have a spell. I have ally gains a charge, 2 pulse. Need those 2 pulse. He could spend 2 pulse, does not have them. This is really lousy, actually. I just have nothing good in this hand, and I'll keep a crystal and 2 to get another one of these. Zolifer's turn, please. Aeon. Well, I mean, it's never bad to fire off 5 damage, the big bad, down to 22. Use those pulse tokens. Get that Arcane Salvo back. I'm not even going to look. Right. I know I want it back, so... However, now I do have 5 purchase and a pulse token back. So with that 5 purchase, I'm going to focus this up 1 before dropping that on. So it comes down to a coin flip here. Zolifer or not? Zolifer. Enough in his hand or not? Not even remotely. So this is going off. And 1 damage. Drop that in. I have... I'm going to get a charge and get a Conductive Grit. I don't even have enough to deal with this one. So, well, that was premature. Nothing happens there. So, nothing, this happens. We unleash twice, 2 beacons into play. 1 and 2, 3 damager, okay. We lose 1 from here. Gravefold suffers 4 damage. However, I mean, that's not that bad. However, that means this card evolves. There's room. This is the last sticker spot on this card. So next time it will, if it evolves, it will go. Let's flip this last one here. Caustic Larva, 10 health. Alright. Let's see what we got here. Zolifer, 2 damage. We're going to do it on the Caustic Larva. Finally, I have enough. Gain pulse charge, that's not bad. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, so this will take, wow, oh, I read that wrong. I thought that said 5. That takes 8. Thank goodness I had that. Alright, 2 damage to Gravehold. Unleash gets us another beacon. Immediately, any player takes a damage. And then that card evolves. This guy sucks. I need to take care of him. Oh, Humming Hive, that sucks. 2 shields on you. Nemesis, of course. So, shuffle this up. Unleash. Any player immediately discards a card from hand. Evolve. Any player suffers 2 damage. Unleash twice. Oof. 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 Player with the lowest life suffers 1 damage. Any player suffers 1 damage. So each of them suffer damage. Zolifer suffers 3 damage. It's down to 4. Ooh. That turned. Thank goodness. Thank goodness for Aeon's turns first, because 3 damage. Gone. 3 damage. Gone. 2 damage. Gone. 4 damage. And discard a card. Deal A damage. I unfortunately only have 1 pulse. I have 1 coin. I can keep that coin in hand. Aeon. Alright. So that would be 4 damage. Take out that guy. That guy was just murdering me. Discard this. Take out that beacon. 2 spells. 2 money. Another charge. And this should be Zolifer then. 2 damage. Take out that guy. Now, we're going to leave you in there. We're going to get so that that's available to be attacked now. 4 purchase. You know where I'm going, of course. Down there. Now that guy is open for business. So, Those were some that double was rough, real tough there. We're still in a good spot, I think. Of course, having Nemesis go, any player suffers 2 damage. Aeon suffers 2 damage. We evolve that one. Not that big a deal for that evolve. Aeon. Alright. We're doing all 4 on this guy, the Humming Hive. So, I'm going to play down this, get a pulse, which I will spend. So I'm at 2 purchase. You know what I'm going for, Arcane Salvo. Put that in. 2, 5. Discard that. Get rid of that. Keep that one in hand. 5 purchase gets us another Arcane Salvo, just in case we ever mess up and don't have the pulse. Zolifer. So 3 damage and 3 damage. 3 damage takes him out. 3 damage takes him out. Thank you, Zolifer. I have a spark. Ally gains a charge. 2 pulse. And Zolifer could lose 2, but he's not going to. I have 2. And I have his card. I'm going to actually keep his card in hand because this is going to allow him to heal back up. As well as Gravehold. One of each, so coin flip. Aeon. 1 damage here. And there's a reason for that. Then 4 damage down to 17. Getting close. Reason for that is I'm actually going to just discard that card. Take out the beacon. 2. Go there. Zolifer. 1 damage. And three that can be spent on money. Plus 2, I'm going to take care of getting another token. Oh wait, Ariane, was she the last one to go? She has no pulse tokens left, obviously. And well, we know what's coming up here. Bladius, 14. Immediately, if you defeated Bladius in Chapter 2, read Evolve Deck E62. Maelstrom emits a sound you recognize from the first time you fought it. The sound summoned Bladius. However, since you defeated Bladius months ago, Maelstrom is no longer able to call for support. Banish. So that card is gone. And draw another one. Oh, sweet. Unleash twice. Any player discards a card. Oh, that sucks. player with the most cards in hand that cost 2 or more, Zolifer, discards those cards and draws that many. Not what I wanted. Alright, we're getting so close. Let's see. Aeon can do 10, which would get us down to 6. Though I might take out the beacons, like I have been doing. Of course, Zolifer goes first. He will for sure take out a beacon. And let's see my new hand. 5 purchase power. We're actually going to get another Infernal Mirror. I want to keep Aeon supplied. Alright, 1 damage to Gravehold. Spend 8. Ooh, unleash twice. The player with the lowest health suffers 4 damage. It's just power 2. I really wish I had Zolifer's hand that one time, because that would have been enough to easily handle that. Aeon. Alright. Fire that off. Take him out 3 down to 13. I'm not going to fire that spell off. Why? I really don't need to at this point in time, and because I get another charge here. Oh wait, an additional 3 damage to this guy because I want to kill that minion. Since that minion has 3 health, I deal 3 damage to a minion, plus I cast, without discarding it, a prep spell, dealing 5 damage. Down to 5 health. Zolifer, 2 damage, down to 3 health. And do I have the money? I definitely do not have the money. Another token. And then ally gains a charge, 2 pulse. Two cards left. Aeon. Alright. This one has to get fired. 1 damage. Fire off that last one. 0 health left on Maelstrom Risen. Alright. If you won the first game, Maelstrom's shell cracks open, streaming bright light from countless fractures. You can see its core as it splits apart, a twisted black void living inside. Its blades hurl towards the ground, piercing the earth and towering above you like monuments. When Maelstrom's massive body crashes onto the battlefield, an ensuing earthquake fills the air with debris and knocks you down. All you can see is dust. When the dust finally settles, it's clear that Maelstrom is no more. A sullen silence settles over you and the rest of the mages as the reality of what you have done sets in. Laughter and cheers break the silence as you are overcome by a feeling of relief. Brahma offers each of you a hug as tears fill her eyes. I'm proud of you, mages. Without you, humanity could not have survived. Everyone in camp owes you a debt of gratitude. You let Brahma's words sink in as you enjoy the flurry of handshakes and congratulations. That you survived shows you are capable warriors. Mists approach you. I see the sadness in your eyes as you look upon the battlefield and think of all we have lost. You have taken responsibility of Gravehold's protection seriously, and for that I have one final instruction. Listen to the power growing inside you. Embrace it and you'll become stronger than ever. Open Insight 13. So this is odd. no idea what this is, or where this goes, or if it'll come out. Oh. So you can either do a -1 charge or a +1 damage on an open breach. Obviously, you should be the ones to close the breach. Banish all the Nemesis cards, label Maelstrom Risen to the bottom of the... So basically we were banishing stuff. You step forward onto Maelstrom's spherical body, moving to close the final breach, ready to put all this behind you. Suddenly a voice shrieks in the air around, and the air around you thickens with darkness. I warned you! I could have saved us all! Zaxos approaches your group. As he gets closer, you notice his wild eyes, pale skin, and long, unkempt hair. He looks little like the Zaxos you remember, but you recognize him immediately. Tendrils of darkness whip around his feet. This is what started it all, he snarls. I brought Maelstrom here to steal its power, and I will not let you stop me. I will die before you close the breach. You try to talk sense into Zaxos, but you fail as Brahma failed. You can't leave well enough alone. Zaxos pulls his lips back into his skull. I've had enough of your meddling. You scramble as Zaxos hurls bolts of shadow, dissolving everything they touch. I have seen the truth, he howls. The void showed me things you can never comprehend. I have seen the well from which the nameless draw power. I have drunk of it myself. Zaxos spreads his arms in the air, and breaches open all around him, swirling in a circle. Minions begin to crawl out of the breaches, hungry for destruction. You have no choice but to fight. So, well, we're not ready to play it tonight. It's time for What If. But the void inside, and that is not a small deck of cards. That is more cards than, well, than some of the other ones, that's for sure. Okay, so we do have one step first. Find the stop. Here, these are our supply upgrades. So I wonder if some of what's in the big Zaxos deck is what's going to make this easier to play after the fact. So they generally give you all the supply upgrade cards. There's a single card to go with all of them that basically you can shuffle up and pull your gems and everything out as you go. So Arcane Silicate, gain 2. Gain a pulse token. You may lose any number of pulse tokens. Deal damage equal to the number of pulse tokens lost that way. Ooh, that's nice. Adrenal Blades. Gain 2 pulse tokens. You may lose 4 pulse tokens. If you do, open any player's closed breach. Then gain a spell from the any supply pile that costs 5 or less and prep that spell in the open player's breach. Oh my. Well, that has limited lasting. 5, deal 4 damage. If there are 3 or more empty supply piles, deal an additional 3. 9, Sphere of Inversion. Deal 7 damage. Any ally may destroy a card in hand. If they do, they gain 2 life. Those are cards we will come back to later. I am going to drop in, instead of the Branching Radite, we're going to have Arcing Silicate. We're not going to put in the 7 cost one. And we didn't get any empty piles this time. We're getting close on 2 of them. And we don't actually use Arcane Salvo for its ability, so Fiery Conclusion is simply better. But with that, we're going to wrap up the stream. Like I said, this is a what if night, so I have that to check out. Thank you all for watching, and Chapter 8 next week, Zaxos. We'll see how this goes. I have no clue. I always forget to do this, but please subscribe. Give the video a thumbs up if you like this content. Subscribe if you want to see more. Ring that notification bell. I mainly do live stuff. I do recorded stuff every now and again, and I need to get back into the habit of doing the 1 recorded video a week. But let's see, besides that, there are links for the other stuff I do down below in the description for nerdologist.com, where you can find me on social media, as well as the 10-Minute Marvel podcast. And some of what I'm doing by checking out What If is going to show up on that podcast next week. And so check that out if you are interested. But with that, thank you for watching, and bottoms up.